Hey guys, let's talk about the structuring in JavaScript. And you see that it's very easy, and in the end of the video you see as well that it's very useful and probably is going to boost your productivity quite a lot if you learn something from this video. Okay, this video I'm planning it's going to be very fast, so we go quickly. Okay, if you don't understand something, you just pause the video and then you can go back and see what exactly we're doing here. I have create one app.js file, and then I open the terminal in Visual Studio. I open the terminal down there because with the Node.js I can execute this app.js and I can see everything that we log, we can see it here. Okay, so let's start first with some very simple example. Let's create one array. Let's say well, we call it sum and then inside it's going to be our array, and we're going to put first, second and third. Okay, and then the second, and then we can put one more, then it's going to be the third. Okay, so we create the array here, and now we want to start destructuring this array. Let's go to say that we want to take the first and the second value. What we can do is that we can say let, and then we say first, and then we say second, because like I said, we just want to take the first and the second, and then we say from some r. Okay, so let's go into console log. Let's go into console log actually the first to see what we have here. The first, let's execute here. If you type node and then app.js, is going to execute your application, and as you can see that we can get the first one here, and same if we say the second, we just execute it in the terminal and we get the second. You get the idea. Okay, so as you can see, that's quite easy, and we can destructuring, and we can take just the values that we want. Let's go a little bit with a little more deep example. Let's say that now we want some name array, for example, name array, and that's going to be Alex, for example, and here we say John, for example, and let's call it Rene. We can put one more name just in case for Zach, for example. Yeah, why not? There we go. So now we have as well array of names as well. What we can do here is the well, I show you that we can take, for example, if we want just the last one here, just this value here, what we can do is very easy and simple. We say let, and then again we do the same. We do 1, 2 and 3, and then we say well, let's go to say that's the third value, and the third value is going to be equal of some name array. Okay, and let's go to see that actually we get something from this. We save it and execute in the terminal, and as you can see that like this, and this way we can get the last value. As well, we can do some different stuff, like for example, if we say that we just want to take the first part, okay, and then we want to take the last. Okay, so let's go to say like this. We say that it's the first part, and then we want to take the rest. We call it rest here. Okay, let's save it, and let's go to see what we get in the first. Okay, there we go. We save it, you execute, and the first one is obviously Alex. And if you want to take the rest, obviously that's going to be the rest that we have here. Well, let me log it. We save it and we execute again, and there we go. You get John, Rene and Zach. Okay, you see that it's quite simple, and it's quite short as well. Okay, let's continue and let's do something a little bit more different. Let's make it a little bit in depth to see how it's working. Let's we're going to create a deep array, well, deep array. Now you see what I mean by that. Let's say that the first it's going to be well, foo. Okay, then we have one more array inside, and in this array we can say, for example, if we go in same, we can say bar, and then inside, if we want to get crazy, we can put as well one more, we call it, for example, bis. Okay, that's have to be a string here. Okay, so we created, and now we want, for example, to take it the properties from here. I want to take the deepest, and that's going to say that in the end we want to accept the bis. So what we do here is that let's go to do it down there. We say let, and again we say the first one is going to be a foo. Okay, then we can do the second, oops, sorry, the second one, it's going to be a bar, and I think that by now you get the idea, right? And that's like that, and this one it's equal to some a deep array. Okay, and let's go on to say that, like I said, we want the last one, the value that we have in more deeper in the chain here in our array. We just log it like that, and then we execute, and as you can see, we get correctly into there. Okay, so far so good. Let's continue, and let's go to do a little bit object. Okay, well, destructuring some object to see how you can work with this, and probably that's more, well, it's not more valuable. So most of the times when you get the data from the API, you're probably going to need to do this, and you see that it's going to help you a lot, and it's going to be much more easy for you. What I mean, let's go to start with something very simple. Let's go say that that's going to be a name object, and we say that it's equal to, and then we say name, and then again it's going to be a Alex inside, and that's very, very easy. When we say let, and then we say down there name, and we save it. Oh, sorry, it's equal to name object. Okay, let me see if we console log this one. Well, actually this one have to be the first name here, because we don't want exactly what we want to take it from here. So we say, we just say the first name, and once when we console log this one, we actually console log the first name here, because we specify well, we say that the name is going to be equal to the first name. Okay, the first name like a variable. Okay, let me see if we execute this one in the command line. As you can see that we get Alex. Okay, so the name is equal to first name, in our case is Alex. Okay, but most of the cases probably you're going to see an object a little bit different than this one. Okay, so what I mean by that is that let's go to, well, let's leave this one, and let's go to create a new one. And this one it's going to be well, the deep object, and that's going to be equal to, like we say, that's the object, and inside we say that we have but first of all, let me say that that's going to be a user list, and inside in this user list we're going to have some users. The users obviously going to have some ID. Okay, and here the ID is going to be 1, and then the name of the user, for example, it's going to be, let me see, Alex here. Again, that's have to be, oops, sorry, that's a string, And let's see how we can get the name from there. If we go down there and if we do like this, if we say let, and then because it's object, and we say the user list, okay, and then the user list, we open the array and we want to take the ID from here. Well, actually this one is in the object, and we want to take the ID and the name, okay, and this one it's going to be from our dipped object, okay, if we put here the dipped object, okay. And let's say that we want the ID, so let's see that we can get the ID actually, sorry, yep, we get the ID. Or for example, we want as well the name, and this one here, it's going to be our name, okay. Well, that's duplicate because I have the name here, but you get the idea. If I comment out this one, it's going to be the same, the name, whoops, just a second. Yeah, well, obviously I need just to comment that one, sorry guys, there we go. And I just show you that the name is from the value that we just put here, okay. Right, let's continue, and let's continue with something a little bit more, well, a little bit more looking like the real life example, okay. Well, that's going to be the data coming from our API, okay. And inside we're going to have an array of objects, and let's say that the name, here we specify the name, right. And then Alex have as well some skills, for example, okay. Alex have some skills, and the skills we can say that it's going to be the core skills, and the core skills are, well, let's go to say that he know the PHP and as well JavaScript, yeah, why not, the JS, okay. And then we can put as well some additional, we can put some additional skills, and the additional skills could be Photoshop. Okay, Photoshop, yep, that's correct. This one here have to be, sorry, together. He know PHP and JavaScript, okay. His name is Alex, so what we can do is that we can duplicate this one, and we can create one more. We have to support with comma, and this one is going to be a John. That's going to be the John that he know, I don't know, Ruby, for example. And the additional skills, it's I don't know, InVision, for example, okay. So as you can see now that we have the two objects with Alex and John, and what we can do now is that you see that it's quite funny. What we planning to do here is that if we down there we say for, and inside in the for, it's starting the fun part, and we say let, and we say that that's the name here, name, okay, it's equal to n, okay. And then we have skills, right, are equal to, for example, Hicks, okay. And then, well, actually, oops, sorry, the skills, they are another object here, and the other object is that we say core skills are equal to Hicks, all right. And then the other one was the additional are equal to y, okay. And here we want to do something with these values. Well, obviously we're going to log it, we're going to console log it. Here something wrong happening, let me see. Well, sorry about it. I go very quickly here. That's going to be of API OS API data. Okay, so what we do is that we want to take these values from the API data and we want to do something inside of our for loop. Okay, so let's go to say, for example, that well, actually, you know what we want to use all together. So what we can try to do is that it's well, first of all, we can get the name. To get the name, we say n, and if you remember, that's the n. Well, the name have core skills, and here we well, actually we say what's the core skills that we have, and that's the x. Okay, and we say additional skills and additional skills we have the y. Okay, let's save it and let's run in the terminal to see what we get here. Okay, so as you can see that we have the Alex, have the core skills, the PHP, JS, and additional skills Photoshop, and then the John have the core skills Ruby and additional skills in Vision. Okay, so as you can see that it's quite useful actually when we do it this way, when we destructuring in this way, and we get so much more information without necessary to do another for or doing some another stuff to extract the value that we need if it's a dip in the chain. Okay, thank you guys. I hope so that you enjoyed it, and I hope so that this one was useful for you, and see you in the next video. Bye.